Right. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, May 5th, 2026, 7:04 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting of the Holyoke City Council to order. The clerk will call the roll.
Anderson Burgos.
Here.
Devine.
Here.
Rainey.
Here.
McGrath Smith.
Here.
Masonette.
Here.
Murphy Ramboletti.
Here.
Hanich.
Here.
Purcell.
Here.
Israel Rivera.
Here.
Jenny Rivera.
Here.
Sullivan.
Here.
Tallheimer.
Here.
Bacon.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America and our troops.
God bless the city of Holyoke and all its residents.
God bless all the immigrants.
All right, so before we dive into our regularly scheduled agenda, we have a special presentation of a proclamation that is very well deserved, and I would like to call up both Councilor Devine as the maker of the order and our DPW director and our crew from DPW, our representatives. Come on up, please.
Don't be afraid. We don't bite.
Big podium.
Okay, thank you, everybody. This is a official city council resolution to the Holyoke Department of Public Works in recognition of their exceptional work and dedication to the city of Holyoke during parade weekend. And be it further resolved that the Holyoke City Council extends its best wishes for continued success, and this resolution be duly signed by the President of the City Council and attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted to the clerk of the City of Holyoke. And it's the President of the City Council, Tessa Murphy Ramboletti, attested Brenna Murphy Leary, and March 22nd, 26th, which was the date of the parade. And I wanted to congratulate everybody in the DPW. You did a wonderful job. You would never even know that there was a parade and road race after they got done. So if you want to say anything, please feel free.
Thank you, Councilor Devine, and all the rest of the whole city council here. It's appreciated on our part to know that our work is appreciated. It is our work, and we take care of the parade and the road race every year, and it does. Sometimes it feels like a routine to somebody like me who's been around so long now, but I'm glad to see that everyone notices the work that we do. I truly appreciate it, and I just want to thank you on behalf of the employees of the Department of Public Works and the Board of Public Works. Thank you.
I work for the DPW, but it's also nice to participate in those weekend activities. I run the race, and I sit across from Mysterihurst and view the parade. So it's nice when my fellow coworkers, make it nice afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you one more time to our friends at the Holyoke DPW. We could not do all of the things that we are asked to do without your support. So thank you all year round, but especially parade weekend, the Super Bowl of DPW responsibilities, one might argue. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you guys so very much, as always, and thank you, Councilor Devine, for filing the order. Councilor Graney, before my president's report, you mentioned you wanted to give a little shout out.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment. A couple of Sundays ago, it was the pleasure of myself and Mrs. Graney to go see the Holyoke High School presentation of Mamma Mia. For anybody that went to see it, it was a real treat. I mean, young men and young women of Holyoke High School did a wonderful job. Mark Todd, the director, was wonderful. All the young people that work behind the scenes. It was a world-class presentation, and anybody in Holyoke that has followed Mr. Todd and his presentations knows how much work and how much he puts into it and how much these young people work. It was terrific, and I hope that next year he will come back and do another one. I don't know if he will, but I'd love to see that the auditorium jamming out the front, and it was a wonderful time, so thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Yes, nice round of applause for all the things that Mr. Todd and his wife and the whole crew, all volunteers do that. And, you know, Howie, I don't know if you know this, but I was the tornado in the Holyoke High School musical production of The Wiz. So
You still are.
does that surprise anyone?
I thought you'd be the hurricane. I thought you'd be the hurricane.
If there was a hurricane in that one, I think Mr. Todd would have cast me, so thank you. Awesome. Anyone else before I head into my president's report? I just have a few brief announcements. So just to keep you all updated on our weekly meetings with the Deb Wagner and the Department of Revenue, the city has received the 23 draft audit, which is essentially the final step in this process. The good news is that there were no material changes to what was initially provided, so that's great. And we also just, you know, having an extra set of eyes on the audit itself is always welcome. So that is great news, and I will keep you updated. I have another meeting on Thursday. I love my Thursdays with Deb. And the CAFO position, just to keep folks informed, there is a third interview taking place this week. I participated in an interview last week. Feels like weeks ago. Yeah, but that was last week. And I know that some counselors here, I did appoint Counselor Sullivan and Counselor Devine to the screening committee. So there is a candidate that has been moving forward. I've been told to expect an official update. References are being checked. So far, they are very good. So I've been told to expect an official update, hopefully within the next week. But as soon as, if I know anything, I'll make sure you all know anything. And then as a reminder, Jeffrey sent out the calendar invites for budget hearings. I hope it works for everyone's schedule. There are so many things happening in May and June, so it's a lot to balance. So I thank Jeffrey for his help with that. And the mayor should be presenting his budget to us before the budget hearings start to take place. I kept them very similar to last year and just made a few small changes. And the Memorial Day parade should have all received an invite. We're actually having a parade this year, so that's very exciting. That is on Monday, May 25th. And if you haven't already, just let Laddie know if you're going. Should be a great day, and I'm manifesting good weather. And then I just want to thank Counselor Devine for stepping in to run the meeting last week, and also give a shout out to our colleague, Counselor Tallheimer. She was victorious in the Homework House Spelling Bee and walked away with a trophy. It was a really tough word that I can't even pronounce. What was it? Okay, great. I couldn't do it. I'd be out in the first round. So thank you. Thank you. And I think that's it for me. Anyone else? All right, that is the president's report. We have public comment. And we got someone signed up for public comment. It says Joe McGivern? Who's that? Anyone ever heard of him? Sir, you have, just a reminder, you do have to state your name and address into the record, or your ward, if that's what you're comfortable with. And I will time you. You have 2 minutes. And I have these really cool, praise me, hold on. Look, I have signs that say when you're running out of time, so.
I took my cheaters off.
It's all right. But, yeah, it's fine. You'll know. So yeah, former president.
President Murphy, Ron Belletti, members of the council, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to stand before you. I'm wearing two hats tonight, and I'll try to make it a minute for each, and hopefully not go over my time because I don't want to get gonged by the good president up here. But before my time starts, I got to say two things. 1973, I was the prop man for the Sound of Music at Holyoke Catholic. That was my best, yeah. And should we tell Ann about our homework house spelling bee experience? We didn't make it through the first word. But we raised good money. First of all, on behalf of the Friends of the Holyoke Merry-Go-Round, I am the current chair. Our secretary clerk is with us, Susan Leary. A few other members are planning to stop in to side everybody, but we thank, first and foremost, the CPA committee for a favorable review on our proposal to restore 4 horses. As you know, they are antique horses. The merry-go-round's birthday next year will be 100 years. Wow. It came out of Philadelphia in 1927, made its way to Holyoke in 1929. The rest is history, but we are looking forward to a completely restored merry-go-round by that time. We seek private donors for other horses. We're about to undergo a roof project and a few other things that is that time. We've been 35 years in the park since Mountain Park closed in 1986. But we ask that the Finance Committee's report tonight, which I believe still gives us a favorable review for the CPA projects, that you would respectfully honor that report and think of the merry-go-round when you're taking your vote later this evening. My second hat is as chair of the Holyoke Economic Industrial Development Corporation. I've been on the corporation since 1991. I am the current chair, and we were asked to appear before the DGR committee, and I enjoyed that immensely. I was able to give some explanations of how HEDIC works. It's a Chapter 121C corporation under Mass General Law. But I won't repeat everything that I said to the committee. I think I did a good job of answering the best I could the questions. But I woke up in the middle of the night after the committee meeting, and I said, I forgot to say something. Never happens, Madam President, never. But in my efforts to explain HEDIC, and I did say, HEDIC is a tool. It only exists because the city wants it to exist. It's a tool for the city council, it's a tool for the mayor, it's a tool for economic development in the planning department, to be used for the purposes of economic development. We are mostly confined towards industrial, and unfortunately, we don't see a lot of manufacturing use these days, but we do our best to promote and to enhance the bringing of new business into the city of Holyoke and the protecting of new business. And what I forgot to say was, your job is incredible.
Motion to suspend the rules and extend time for
Thank you.
Councilor McGivern.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you to the good Ward 7 councilor. I appreciate that. We are an economic tool, and that is something that is important because in your responsibilities, and as you know, I did it for many years, starting in the good Ward 4, making my way up to an at-large city councilor, you have to protect what the residents are talking about and looking forward to the needs of our residential communities. Holyoke was built before zoning. It's a spot zone from Pleasant Street on down. It's incredible. You make your best, you listen to the residents, but we also, if we are going to truly represent residents, have to make sure we have a healthy business community. And that's what we call economic development, economic enhancement, and that's part of what HEDIC tries to do. Because we cannot make it without a good, healthy business community. We need to protect our residential community, but we also need to protect that healthy commercial and industrial community within the city for the purpose of everybody. And I just wanted to share that with you. What I woke up with is Whiting Farms Road, there was zoning. Whiting Farms Road is probably would have been called a spot zone catastrophe when they made it. I found the answer as to why. I just thought it was farmland that Ernie Prue built $1 million road to nowhere that somewhere like about 8 years later, the Holyoke Mall appeared. It was the Holyoke Water Power Company that owns the land, which we're talking about with HEDIC up in the industrial park. And it was the residential communities further up the road, not just Elmwood, but also that part of Whiting Farms, Tokeniki, and Farnham. Both utilities, because there were 2 utilities. Water Power was a utility at the time, even though it wasn't part of the city. We're fighting for customers. And that's how Whiting Farms Road became. We're doing our best to enhance what is the zoning now. The property that Hedek is controlling for the gas and electric is industrial park, and we just ask that you keep that in considerations as we go forward. President Murphy Ramboletti, thank you very much. Members of the council, thank you.
Thank you.
Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Is there anyone else who's here this evening for the purposes of public comment? Is there anyone online? Okay.
Motion to take up item 26 out of order and go to the
Second.
first ballot.
The motion was made and seconded to suspend the rules and take item 26 out of order and go to the first ballot. Was seconded. Under discussion, Counselor, to go out of order. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Counselor Anderson Burgos, would you like to give your committee report?
Sure, thank you, Madam President. So I have a lot of notes here. Wanted to make sure I covered everything. So, April 23rd, Ms. Cheryl Allen, she has her master's degree in professional accounting, which she received while studying at the University of Canterbury in New Zealand, a bachelor's degree from the University of Shanghai. She worked as a town accountant since 2021 and also has 2 years of experience using Munis, which is a plus. She also stated that she is a lawyer. She was a lawyer in China before becoming an accountant and chose to change her career path, preferring a field that dealt with numbers over the legal field that had too many gray areas. Ms. Allen is also familiar with DOR, for those who don't know, Massachusetts Department of Revenue, and noted that the role included submitting reports to them. Ms. Allen is aware of coordinating and scheduling the annual audit. Ms. Allen is also familiar with doing bank reconciliations, I don't know why I can't speak today, preparing union benefits reports and collaborating with an assessor, among other related tasks, as well as having prepared legal documents. When I asked Ms. Allen why she wanted to work for Holyoke and what she thought about the city's current financial management, she stated that she saw the job posting in January, and after doing some research, appreciated the work environment and the team the city had. She also added that she valued the importance of having a team that worked together and expressed that Holyoke was actively working on having an upswing and wanted to be part of it. When I asked Ms. Allen how she would prioritize multiple adults audits with strict deadlines, she emphasized the importance of communication to understand what needed to be prioritized first. She also added that she was good at multitasking and could handle a high-stress environment, which is very important in this field, I might add. I asked Ms. Allen what experience she had handling fraud, waste, or abuse, and she replied that she was fortunate not to have any in her previous roles working in municipality. She added that doing monthly reconciliations allowed things to be caught earlier than with quarterly, biannually, or annually reconciliations. I asked Ms. Allen if she was familiar with DOR regulations, and she replied she was very by-the-book person. She was a very by-the-book person. She added that from her law background, she always looked things up, such as researching MGL, Massachusetts General Laws, and if information wasn't clear. She added that she would always cross-reference the accountant's menu and the treasurer's collector menu issued by the MMA, Massachusetts Municipal Auditors and Accountants Association, to ensure things were being done right. At this time, I think I pretty much covered everything basically that was covered at the meeting, at the committee meeting. And if any other city councilors or any of the committee members would like to speak, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Counselor Anderson Burgos.
Sorry, and it was, the committee referred the appointment to the full city council. It was 3-0. Sorry, I forgot to mention.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have Counselor Devine, and then Counselor Masonette, and Counselor Graney, and Counselor Bacon.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Counselor, Chair of the Public Service Committee. You did a wonderful job, and this was a candidate that was extremely intelligent. The resume certainly spoke for itself. I think that Holyoke is extremely lucky to have this caliber of a candidate, and I just wanted to mention that, and thank you, Juan, for your chairmanship, and certainly thank the candidate for all she had to say and do. She was excellent. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Counselor Masonette?
Yes. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the meeting, but I did go back and watch the recording. So I do want to add that she's also a certified government accountant. She's ready to take her CPA exam. And also, she understands where our finances are and is willing to be part of the process to get Holyoke to be where it needs to be. I think she's very well-rounded.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Counselor Graney?
Yeah, I had some problems with the procedural aspect of the situation. However, I thought that the candidate did a fine job. I did my due diligence, checked on some things, and I think we should go forward with this candidate. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Bacon?
Thank you, Madam President. I also had some procedural concerns about how things were moving forward, but I am very appreciative that we were provided with the applicants and with the references. And I want to thank the applicant, Cheryl Allen. She was very responsive when I reached out to her. And I was able to speak to a couple of her references who did validate and verify everything that we were given the impression of in the interview. So I thank you for that. And as much as I had some issues with the process, I wouldn't take it out on a well-qualified applicant. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Counselor Rivera?
So I guess for me, is again, thank you to Cheryl for applying and coming to Holyoke and looking into Holyoke. And again, thank you to Juan for reporting out. I wasn't able to attend either. I had to catch it on video. I think for me, the qualifications stand for themselves, and what she's presented in her resume and just in the past experiences for work. I think for myself, just regarding process and understanding, because this was my first time, I think, as a counselor, that we actually approve someone that we were supposed to go to the interview process. I only seen one person come forward, and not to say that I don't want to see another person. I think she's great. It's just that I think we get to put different people out front, but there's only one person that came to us. So I think that in the future, it would help to try to say, if we're going to appoint as a council, that we get more applications to us versus, because if not, then it makes no sense for us to appoint, because they're going to go through the whole process, then they send us who they think makes sense, right? So for me, it's just trying to understand that. And I'm not saying, I don't disagree here. Like, this person is a great candidate. Cheryl, you are a great candidate. I'm going to vote yes. But it's just in the sense of process and understanding what the power is of the council appointing powers. For me, then there makes no sense for us to have that appointment power if we're just going to be told who's going to be the candidate that comes forward. That's where I'm at with it.
Thank you. Counselor Panich?
Yeah. I respect everything that my colleague, Councilor Rivera, has said, but at the same time, I think we have not surrendered our power here. If we did not feel that this was an extraordinary candidate, we could pitch this back to Human Resources to try again. But I think we basically won the lottery with this candidate. Yeah. I was not able to attend the actual meeting, but I did watch the video later, and I was extremely impressed, and I felt that we were very lucky to have her and her real enthusiasm for Holyoke. So, although I respect the concerns, I do not in this case share them.
Thank you. Counselor Graney for a second time?
Just quickly, I agree completely with Counselor Rivera, what he said. It's not the candidate. The candidate's a wonderful candidate. I think, as Counselor Rivera said, we are the appointing authority, and I think we should see more people if there are people out there. That's all.
Thank you. And is there anyone else? Okay, just for awareness. Going forward, I hear everyone's concerns about process. If you want to all take a look through all of the candidates, everyone did have that opportunity when you requested it. I think the HR department, it was sent out. It was sent out. Every HR resume that was received from HR was made available to all of you. If you do want to invite people in and you want to spend time doing that, that's fine. But the HR process has always been that we bring the most qualified candidates to the front in an effort to not waste your very valuable time. But if that's something that you feel strongly about, I will take note of that for the future and make sure that you see all of the resumes and you can take that time to do that. And so, I just want to thank HR for going the extra mile for us and really just trying to give us, all the information that everyone needed. And I hope it shows that, because I did get all that information together for you as soon as possible. Councilor Rivera and then Councilor Panich.
Thank you. And while I appreciate all the work that was put in, I think for me it's just the clarification of process. Like if we are appointing someone that this is one of the rare times that we actually appoint someone, right? And for me, it's then when I go vote, if we're going to take a vote when it comes to whether council appoints or whether the mayor appoints, I'm going to lean in favor of the mayor appointing if this is going to be the case moving forward every time, because it doesn't necessarily roll out the way that it says it rolls out. And that's just my opinion.
Sure. And if there were more candidates to present to you all, we would have. Councilor Panich? And then I'm hoping we can move forward on a vote.
I was going to move that we go to the first ballot.
Perfect. The motion on the floor was to go to the first ballot. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes. Oh, I forgot to mention, Madam Clerk, that it is Councilor Panich voting first in general this evening. I don't know if that's the same order you go in for this, but the clerk will call the roll. And similarly to other council appointments, you will state for the record the name of the appointee that you would like. You do not have to put the person that's been discussed this evening. You can put any name, but that's when we get to 7 votes, that's enough. And going forward, I can send out more information beforehand on how this process is going to roll out in the event that we're doing this again. Thank you.
Panich?
This is embarrassing, but I am bad with names. I would like the recommended candidate, Cheryl Allen?
Yep.
Thank you, Cheryl Allen.
Purcell?
Cheryl Allen.
Israel Rivera?
Cheryl Allen.
Jenny Rivera?
Cheryl Allen.
Sullivan?
Cheryl Allen.
Tallheimer?
Cheryl Allen.
Bacon?
Cheryl Allen.
Anderson Burgos?
Miss Cheryl Allen?
Devine?
Cheryl Allen.
Graney?
Cheryl Allen.
McGrath Smith?
Cheryl Allen.
Masonette?
Cheryl Allen.
Murphy Ramboletti?
Cheryl Allen.
Cheryl Allen appointed unanimously on the first ballot.
Congratulations. Thank you. Welcome to this crazy city hall. We love it. We're excited to work with you and appreciate all of your time.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Councilor Graney.
could we allow Cheryl just to address the council for a minute?
Cheryl, would you like to say anything? I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Well, good evening, everyone. I was not prepared to have a speech, so thank you all for your trust, and I'll do my best to fulfill my role and just do my best. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming. I would entertain a motion for item 3.
Second.
Motion to
Receive and adopt.
receive and adopt. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Just
Moved. Sorry.
that it's the minutes. That's
I'm sorry. Thank you. Item 3 is that it's the minutes from the April 21st, 2026 meeting. Sorry, I was getting myself gathered here. Councilor McGrath Smith?
Motion to take item 6 off the table.
Motion has been made
Second.
and seconded to take item 6 off the table. On the motion to suspend the rules, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 6 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred that an order that the city adopt an ordinance that would prohibit the use of SGARs on city-owned properties. Recommended that the order be adopted and that the Board of Health be requested for a written plan on transitioning to alternatives. Counselor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I wanted to name that originally we had been concerned that we needed to hear from the Board of Health. What we learned was that we needed to hear instead from the DPW director. And so I spoke with Mr. Gallagher, and he was able to meet already with the third-party contractor the city uses, and this was his response. Our multi-catch devices are metal devices with glue boards inside that we call tin cats. There are one-way ramps on both sides of the device and holes for insects as well as rodents to enter. That is what we have in place in the schools already and what we will be replacing any bait boxes with, so it should be an easy transition. He has met with the third-party vendor. They understand this change is coming and it needs to take place starting July 1. When we initially tabled this order, it was in light of the fact that we were waiting for the legal language. We now have it. I think that Solicitor Bissonette did a really nice job taking the Lowell ordinance and templating it and then really updating it to really match what Holyoke needed. And I feel like we should move it forward tonight. There was an editorial in the Republican from the newspaper editorial board in favor of us doing this. And in it, they really highlighted that would be the first town in Western Mass to do so. And I think we will see others listening and paying attention and starting to take this up as well, because this is such an important health issue for our community and for wildlife. So that being said, I would make a motion that we pass the first reading.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to pass the first reading. Under discussion, is there any other discussion? All right.
Motion to pass the second reading?
Wait, we're going to vote on the first reading first.
Just jump the gun.
The motion was to pass the first reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Motion to pass the second reading?
Second.
Motion to pass the second reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion that the passage be ordained.
Second.
And the motion that the passage be ordained, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt item 6.
Hanich,
Yes.
Purcell,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Tallheimer,
Absolutely yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
McGrath-Smith,
Yes.
Masonette,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
With that, you have passed item 6. Thank you very much.
Madam President,
I saw Councilor Devine. Councilor Devine?
just a quick question on item number 5.
Yes.
Are we able to take that up and send it to ordinance?
I hadn't heard otherwise.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion was made and seconded to suspend the rules and take up item 5 and send to ordinance.
Yes. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Counselor Bacon?
Motion to take up item 7, please.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to take up item 7. All those in favor of taking it off the table?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay, I think the ayes have it. Counselor Bacon?
Did you want to read the amendment?
I can read, yes, I can read it for sure. So I just wanted to read into the record, Counselor Bacon and our city clerk gave me a heads up that it's printed on the agenda in an order, but not on this listed agenda. Just the Counselor Bacon's original order was that the city council would go to the first ballot to elect a treasurer at the April 21st, 2026 city council meeting in accordance with our current charter. Our city council appointed collector has indicated interest in the treasurer collector position. A majority of the city council has had the opportunity to interview our collector. This appointment would legally establish the treasurer position and for practical purposes combines the positions, waiting for further charter changes that will be sent to the state legislature in a home rule petition. Transition changes can happen in coordination with other ordinance changes, and there was an amendment that was made and voted on, I believe, that was, a motion was made and seconded to appoint a treasurer from an effective date of April 21st, 2026 to an effective date of June 1st, 2026, when the current temporary appointment ends, with up to a 30-day acceptance period no later than June 30th, 2026, for the appointee to accept the position for treasurer. So I wanted to make sure that was read into the record. Counselor Bacon?
Thank you, Madam President, and I appreciate you reading that into the record. I also want to provide information that in a May 3rd article, it's been noted that our current city collector is intended to be appointed to the treasurer collector position once we had appointed the auditor, which we have now done. And I would just further note that legally, the only position we can appoint to right now is treasurer, because we have to wait until we get through the charter changes to move the position to treasurer collector. So I'm hopeful that, given all the updated information of her good performance, her interest in the position, which had not really been confirmed until very recently, that in a good faith effort, acknowledging all the current things that are in place and the time that it will take, because I've had an opportunity also to speak with the firm that is working with our collector, that this would be the smoothest way to do the transition. It would also be a vote of confidence by us to our appointee, who by all reports has done an excellent job and continues to do so. So for all of those reasons, I'm hoping that we can go to the first ballot tonight and move forward on this position. It would not undo any other votes that this council has taken. Thank you.
Second.
So the motion was made and seconded to go to the first ballot. I have Counselor, under discussion, I have Counselor Devine, and then Counselor Rivera, and then Counselor McGrath-Smith, and Counselor Panich? Okay.
Thank you,
Counselor Devine.
Madam President. If I recall, the night that I took the podium, this order was denied. It was withdrawn, and then the amendment that Counselor Bacon wanted to put in there was also denied. No. That's my recollection, unless I'm completely misinformed, but that's the way I remember it from being up at the podium. So again, that's the way I remember it, and I'm certainly...
Hold on 1 second. I was just reading the minutes the other day because obviously I was not able to be here.
It's near the very end.
Okay, looking to amend the order. Made a motion to adopt and go to the first ballot. Seconded the motion failed on a voice vote. Made a motion to lay item 63 on the table. Yeah, so the motion was to lay item 63 on the table. Counselor Anderson Burgos has seconded the motion, and President Pro Temp Devine claimed that the previous motion on the floor was Counselor Bacon's motion to amend. It ends with Counselor Anderson Burgos made a motion to lay item 63 on the table. Counselor Purcell seconded the motion. So the amendment did not get voted on.
Okay.
Okay.
But it did say the beginning part was denied.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'd make a motion that this stays on the table.
Second.
the motion has been made and seconded to keep this item on the table. We'll go on that vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay, the ayes have it. So we'll keep
Roll
going.
call.
Okay.
Roll call.
You
Second.
can do that. I heard him first. I heard him. Madam Clerk, if you vote yes, you are voting to keep item 7 on the table. The clerk will call the roll.
Panich,
Yes.
Purcell,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
No.
Tallheimer,
Yes.
Bacon,
No.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Graney,
No.
McGrath Smith,
No.
Masonette, Murphy and Belletti,
No.
seven yeas, 6 nays.
7 yeas, 6 nays. Okay. So that doesn't pass. Now, wait, 7
Move to
yeas,
reconsider.
It's
6
on the
nays.
table.
I apologize. So that does pass. It did pass. It's tabled. My apologies.
Move to reconsider?
There was a motion to reconsider. Is a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to reconsider our action. All those, you know what? Since you guys called for a roll call vote before, might as well just do it again. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to reconsider item or action that was just taken on item 7.
Panich,
Madam,
Sorry, Counselor Bacon?
under discussion.
Okay.
Thank you. So this is our appointment under our current charter, and we should make it official if we want this person to be our treasurer. This is not complicated. It's not going against anything. It is actually us complying with what the voters voted for, what our charter says, until such time as it is changed. And I get it. I understand that we're changing the charter. But it's not done until the process is completed. And we just had a discussion on process relative to the appointment that we just made. And process matters. And I truly believe it matters that we uphold our obligation to the voters. We're here to represent them, not to tell them the way things will be. And this is a 7-6 vote. And so it's dividing the council. We don't need to be divided on this. It's not even a controversial appointment. She is our appointee, who we all think very highly of. I'm not understanding the conflict. I'm not seeing the conflict. So I just really ask my colleagues to do this. It's not going to interfere with any transition. It's simply really almost a symbolic vote of confidence to something that's already basically been put in the public, that it's the way that it will be. And I don't think we're in opposition. So I truly appreciate your consideration. I hope you really will reconsider, because I just think it's the right thing to do in honor of our positions and the voters we represent. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Counselor Rivera, McGrath Smith, Sullivan, and Counselor Greeny.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam President. I think, so for me, I kind of really wanted to have discussion on this piece, because I think for me, particularly around the process piece, right? I fully understand that we more than likely are the appointment is going to be the person that is in the role that has been suggested. But I think if I'm going to take a vote on this one, it has to be similar to the one that I did on the last one with regards to process, right? I don't have no other applications in front of us. No other resumes have been put in front of us. There have been no other people. If again, that goes back, for me, it's consistency, right? I understand that we know who we fully want and what we're going to see, but if we're talking about a process that we want to do as a council, I feel like it has to be consistent across the board. We can't, on the one hand, say that we didn't have no other candidates or no, question the process, and then on this hand, kind of go against the process that was just questioned. So for me, it's just I would want to see the same thing that I wanted to see on the last one. So for this one, I want to see other applicants too. I understand that there's someone that's a very strong applicant, but if there's no other applicants too as well, then again, who is really appointing then, I guess? I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I know. We voted unanimously to have it posted, and the mayor directed the HR director not to post it.
Okay, so I actually have other counselors in line. I don't need a dialogue. Counselor McGrath-Smith?
Thank you, Madam President. I voted the way that I did because I really wanted us to have discussion. I don't think that we should move forward with this tonight, but I do think that a conversation is important because I do think that process matters. And it's messy. We're making a transition and we've updated our ordinances. We are waiting for the state legislature to hear our home rule petition and move it forward, which I have no doubt they will. And in the meantime, you know, things are in motion. We have an issue here where if we vote yes and name this person as our treasurer, then we suddenly don't have a tax collector. I can't see ethics agreeing to us having a person in both roles at once when right now there are different roles in our charter. So I don't think it's not just symbolic. I think it could create some real technical issues for us to do so. And also, us voting on that means that as of that vote, we no longer have someone who is able to sign checks. This is fast. Like, we need to hear from this person and know that they really want this job and are ready to walk into it. And I think this person would probably feel rather shocked to wake up tomorrow to find themselves to be the treasurer, not the tax collector, in a very different
Counselor Bacon?
role.
Counselor McGrath-Smith has the floor. Thank you.
And I would like that person to be part of this conversation if we were going to vote for them to be treasurer tonight, and for them to know that this was something we were doing. And so for that reason, I don't think that we should move it forward at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Counselor Sullivan, then Counselor Graney, then Counselor Panich.
Okay, so I want to reiterate what I've already heard here tonight. It's time for this council to honor the will of the voters, all right? That's number one, and that's the most important, and we're not doing that, all right? We've struggled for how long now to get this Municipal Modernization Act done, and we're this close to the finish line. We have a perfectly qualified candidate who has expressed willingness to do the job. They will not wake up tomorrow and be in that job. They have until the 30th of June to decline if there is a problem. So any vote we take tonight will be no surprise. It'll be nothing but a vote of confidence and doing what this council is supposed to do and move this Municipal Modernization Act forward and get the people in place and let them start doing their job.
Thank you. Counselor Graney?
This is a temporary appointment for several months. That's all it is. It's not a permanent appointment to the treasurer. Let us do our job. Let the voters have their way. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Panich?
Well, I respect the intent of trying to find a solution here that satisfies both sides of this argument. I do not, however, see the points that Councillor Bacon raised as justifying an appointment now. We are in a situation where we have already changed our ordinances. The position is now treasurer-collector. The position will be treasurer-collector in our charter as soon as that moves forward. The candidate is someone who has asked herself to have time for training, to work through her current role until everything is in place for her to move. The will of the voters is, we've already discussed the fact that very few people actually voted at that election. It was 2.7% of the electorate, as I recall it. Many of those voters, we will never know how many, voted to move to an appointed treasurer rather than specifically wanting this body to be the appointing authority. Many of them were looking for a Municipal Modernization Act, which we were promised as voters. And I speak as one of them. I voted for that change. And I voted for it because I believed, perhaps foolishly, that there was some agreement in place that was going to move the rest of the piece forward. Instead, this council fought about it for a year and more. And only now are we finally in a position where everything is going to line up. If we appoint now, not only do we have the disadvantages that Councilor Rivera already brought forward, but we have the messiness of a process that will be perfectly smooth if we are just patient for another few weeks. I have heard the argument that we are somehow behaving illegally, but we have an opinion of our city solicitor that what is being done is perfectly legal. And as I understand it, and Councilor Bissonnette, old legal habit, but City Solicitor Bissonnette can tell me if I am making a mistake when I say that we are entitled to rely on that opinion. And I don't mean disrespect to anyone here. I don't mean disrespect to the candidate, but I can see only more confusion and more stress being added to the department if we do not follow the path that we are now embarking on. And that, if we want to talk about the will of the voters and elections, many of us ran on the Municipal Modernization Act. We are here, and I believe we have a majority, not a supermajority, because we asked the voters, do you want to do what the state has been begging us to do for decades? Or are you willing to hope that selecting an appointed treasurer actually fixes the problem? And the voters did what they did. So I think that even if you are complaining about turnout at the last election, a 17 whatever it was turnout beats a 2.7% turnout. And we ought to respect what the voters said they wanted that second time when the crisis was right in front of us during the election season, when everyone was speaking about it, when we heard from the state as well as from the voters. We made a decision. I think we ought to see it through. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have Councilor Bacon and then Councilor Greenie.
Thank you, Madam President. It doesn't matter how many times you say things incorrectly, it does not make them true. The voters voted on a ballot question that said, shall the city change from an elected treasurer to an appointed treasurer by the city council? Separate sentence, qualifications for the treasurer shall be established by ordinance. Two separate and distinct sentences. They didn't go together. People knew what they were voting for when they voted. Now, for those of you who weren't here, we had originally had the ballot question ready to go on the big election, but there were technical issues that were put to the council to say that it was not feasible to do it because it needed to be a side-by-side election, and there was also a timing issue because in August we were not made aware of a certain language problem. Because of that, it was delayed. But the original intention was to have the vote on a larger turnout election. So that was a process problem, and so in order to get it before, to make these changes that we were saying that we wanted to be more professional and to have these things appointed instead of elected because there were no qualification requirements, that's how we got here. And the reason for the turnout was because we ended up having to fit it in between that larger election and the other books of business that were going on so it could get to the state for the home rule petition in time. So that's the backstory for those of you who weren't on the council at the time. In terms of what our current law is, we've been over that a number of times. I won't repeat it, but our current law is that we will appoint a treasurer. There's nothing that says the person has to resign as the collector to be the treasurer. So again, I think we're creating confusion where there isn't any, and I think we are just sort of merging issues, but the reality is, if we do it the right way, it's going to come out the same way in the end. And the ends do not justify the means. To ignore the voters, ignore our current law, and our charter is our ruling document. We can change all the ordinances we want, but our charter is the strongest document over our ordinances. I think we all know that. But thank you for indulging me, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor Graney, and then Councilor Panich.
Yeah, Madam President, thank you for indulging me to 2.5% or 17%. So 17% of the voters voted this council in. That means that 83% didn't vote this council in. So when we start talking about percentages, let's look at the real situation. Let's look at what we want to do is do what the voters asked in that particular election. And they asked for us to appoint a treasurer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Panich.
All right, first to the law. With all due respect, we have an opinion of actual licensed to practice law counsel that pursuing this as we have been pursuing it and not taking the vote tonight is lawful and appropriate. And with all respect to Councilor Bacon, who I do respect.
On the motion.
Did anyone interrupt you, Councilor Bacon? What you want her to say through the chair to you? Okay, can you say through the chair?
Yes, through the chair.
Thank you.
I would prefer to rely on the advice of actual lawyers than the strong feelings, however justified, of a lay city councilor. I would also just point out, because the will of the voters has been chanted over and over on both sides, I just did it, that nevertheless, to speak to the actual facts. The actual facts are that we're talking about approximately 560 votes for what was by then an ambivalent understanding of the ordinance, and for which some people were not actually asking for what Councilor Bacon believes they were asking for. And we can argue about this all day and all night. We have. What's actually before us is whether to go back and forth on tracks for appointments, which is what is being sought to do tonight. We have voted as a city to change this process. We have been told that doing so, as we have been doing it, is within the law. And there is just no good reason I can think of to suddenly jump to one track, or from one track to another, for some period of weeks, then jump back again and hope that that is somehow easy to untangle. Whereas we have a perfectly smooth, established process that we can follow that will get us to the right place if we are only patient about it.
Thank you. So on the motion was to reconsider. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting to reconsider our action on item 7.
Panich?
No.
Purcell?
No.
Israel Rivera?
No.
Jenny Rivera?
No.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Tallheimer?
No.
Bacon?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
No.
Devine?
No.
Graney?
Yes.
McGrath Smith?
No.
Masonette?
Yes.
Murphy and Bloody?
No.
4 yeas, 9 nays.
Okay, so that doesn't pass. On to the next item. I have item number 8.
The motion.
Did I hear something?
Motion, take up item 8.
Oh, thank you. Motion was made and seconded to take up. Oh, yeah, we're not taking them off the table. Sorry, I was on the roll. We don't have to take a motion for that.
Be good.
Got into a groove there with all those items on the table. All right, so item number 8 is a reappointment letter from the mayor for Vanessa Santiago to serve as a commissioner of the Parks and Recreation Commission for the city of Holyoke. Is there a motion to?
Motion to confirm the reappointment. if
Second.
everybody
Motion's
so
been
moves.
made and seconded to confirm the reappointment. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Item number 9, I believe, should be taken with 38.
Correct.
I have it over here. I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules to take item 9 with 37.
Second.
38,
Oh, sorry, 38.
unless you want ammunition.
Nope, just kidding. Nope.
Boom, boom, boom.
Be different. All right. So item 9 is a communication from our Chief Procurement Officer. It's a request for approval of a 5-year VoIP contract for the citywide phone system upgrade. And then 38 is accompanying, and it is filed by Counselor Devine, and it says, ordered that the City Council authorize a 5-year contract for VoIP services. Send it to Finance? Is that
Second.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay. So moved. Let me just get back in order here. All right, continuing on, item number 10 is the Redevelopment Authority meeting minutes from February 18th, 2026.
Be received.
Motion, these be received.
Second.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 10 is from HEDIC. It's the executive and regular meeting minutes from February 26th, 2026, and March 19th,
Motion.
2026.
Motion to receive.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to receive item 11. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 12 is from our interim auditor. It's the fiscal year 26 general fund and sewer enterprise budget to actual reports.
Receive and send to finance.
Second.
Receive and send to finance. It's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Petitions. We've got
Motion to take up items 13 through 15.
15. Yep.
15 as a package.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take items 13 through 15 together as a package. On the motion to suspend the rules, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So these are all, 13 through 15 are all petitions for renewals. 13 is for a pawnbroker application 448 Appleton. 14 is the renewal for a secondhand license at 448 Appleton. And 15 is a renewal of a pool table and 6 bowling alley license at 624 South Bridge Street. I would entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to approve 13 through 15. Any other discussion?
If all fees and taxes.
Yes, I checked through and all the fees and taxes are up to date according to our finance team. So, all those in favor? Aye. Oh, we got to do a roll call? Just kidding. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting for 13 through 15 to approve.
Panich,
Yes.
Purcell,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Tallheimer,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burger.
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Rainey,
Yes.
McGrath Smith.
Yes.
Masonette,
Yes.
Murphy and Bloody.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
With that, you have passed 13 through 15. Thank you. 16 is a petition for a zone change at 172 Sergeant Street from BG to DR.
Motion to receive and send to ordinance.
Motion to receive and send to ordinance. It's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 17 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom is referred an order that the DPW Director, Parks Director, and Conservation Director come to a subcommittee meeting to discuss the management strategies currently being used to encourage pollinators. It was recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor McGrath Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam President. So the Committee on Ordinance took this up over 2 different meetings, and we were able to hear from Director Gallagher as well as the Parks and Rec Director, John Moquin. And effectively what we learned is that we're not currently using pesticides on any city land or in city parks. And then we kind of pressed further in terms of, do you have any no-mow areas that you're putting aside as sort of, pollinator spaces or native plant spaces? And that got us into a different conversation around what does it actually take to create a pollinator space. And so we were able to hear from Sharon Farmer, who was from the Western Mass Gardens Association, who was able to share information around how you have to create a pollinator space. And if you don't just want invasive plants to take over, you really can't just stop mowing. You actually have to kill all the grass in an area and tarp it effectively for a period of time, or rototill it and take the grass out. And then you can plant native plants. And how beneficial that is. We talked about different areas that we could put in sort of a pilot where we could put in a native garden or a pollinator garden. And we talked about Sheard Park, which is right across from where the high school is, and Puyo Pool and Fitzpatrick, and right next to the houses on Jackson Street. And it's a space that has a couple benches, and there's a path right from it that you can take across the crosswalk back up to the school or to the houses on the other side. But there's not a lot going on there. And so Mr. Moquin thought that could be an interesting place for us to put in some sort of pilot garden. And then we also discussed other places like Jones Point Park. We'll see some big upgrades coming over the summer into the fall. Within the next few weeks, there'll be groundbreaking for the new playground structure that will be there and a pathway around the park. And they're going to put in some sort of, shrub perennial plants that don't require a lot of maintenance. And so the concept was, well, why don't you make them native plants? Why not? Let's lean into being able to support our bees, butterflies, etc. And then the other spot, and I don't know if Councilor Thalheimer or Councilor Rivera wants to talk about, was a park that was near and dear to them that they were thinking about. So we talked back and forth. Director Gallagher said that he was really willing to support with kind of the sweat equity of DPW laborers supporting with being able to rototill the ground, being able to help us with some of the big kind of backbreaking work. And then there's a lot of volunteers that are willing to really step into this. And a number of them were named. You have the Western Mass Garden Association, you have the fantastic gardening club at the senior center, and you also have other organizations like Nuestras Raíces has been really stepping in and doing a lot of work recently. You have the Dwight Street Garden folks. We just feel like there's a lot of folks that we could pull on in order to do this, to launch it. Because what we heard was that launching it is a lot of work, but once you've established it, the point is that these areas may need to be weeded just for invasives that are trying to come in. But other than that, they don't require a lot of maintenance like other gardens do. So we marked it as complied with the thought that we would circle around in a couple months, maybe towards the middle or end of the summer, to get a sense of what progress has been made and just continue supporting.
Thank you, Councilor. I have Councilor Graney.
Could we move the question, please?
Yeah, I didn't have anyone else lined up, so...
I'll second it if it wasn't.
Okay, the motion is that this has been complied with.
Second.
The motion was made and seconded that this was complied with. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you, Councilor McGrath-Smith. Item 18 is from the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that Charter and Rules Committee, Law Department, Parks and Rec Department check if wording in the appropriate charter section can be changed so that city lifeguards can be given raises. It was recommended that the order be given a leave to withdraw. Councilor McGrath-Smith?
Thank you. So we were able to look at this, and the Human Resources Director was able to do a really good comparative breakdown and find that we are very much within the range regionally, and so it didn't make sense for us to make any changes at this time. Right now, our starting pay for lifeguards this summer is going to be $19. So think about that for the folks in your life who may be looking for a job. $19. And then the head lifeguards are making $21. They felt like that was a very comparative range to what everyone else was offering, and that it made sense to just give it leave to withdraw at this time, because we didn't feel like it was appropriate to change anything.
Thank you, Councilor.
I'll second that.
Anyone else? Okay. The motion was made and seconded to give the order a leave to withdraw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Item 19 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order by School Committee Member Lubold in the interest of student safety that the school committee, in coordination with the City Council, consider adopting the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40, Section 71, School Bus Violation Detection Monitoring Systems, Installation and Operation. Recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you. This came from the Joint Committee, and it made its way through the School Committee and then to the Ordinance Committee. Our role in this process is in accepting, adopting Chapter 40, Section 71, which allows us to do this process. And then the contract terms and everything else that comes after this is the responsibility of the mayor working in conjunction with the superintendent. So we're playing our role here, and then the next step is passing the baton to them. We were able to hear from Michael Gorman, who is the representative of Bus Patrol. This was the company that wanted to work with the city. They've already started to work with other regional towns, such as Chicopee. Just some quick basics. What they would do at no cost to the city is they would put cameras on our school buses on the front and on the side, and they use an AI-based technology. And these cameras are looking and basically looking for any cars that are engaging in a violation. They are passing a school bus when they shouldn't be. The stop arm is out, the stop sign's out, the red lights are flashing. And if that happens, then the system flags it and they save the data that's important to that for 30 days, and they pass it to the police department for them to do what they need to do once they've cleaned it up, so that they're only giving what is relevant to the infraction, so that nothing else is passed on other than that. If a school bus has no issues for the entire day, nothing's been flagged, everything is scrubbed at the end of the 24-hour period. So it's just, in terms of us, it was really wanting to make sure that this was a good thing for protecting our school children and our school bus drivers, but also wanting to make sure that we were being thoughtful about privacy and about the sharing of data, and wanting to make sure that this wasn't going to be, basically filming the entire city of Holyoke and then being able to be used and shared in different ways. That felt important to us. So we wanted to name that he was emphatic that they do not have any sharing of data with any third-party vendors, and that we definitely could put that in the contract very explicitly, and that other communities had asked for it to be so. So I think this is a really good thing. In terms of being able to keep our school children safe. The mechanisms to us felt like they were cost neutral to the city. What happens if there's an infraction? If the police department actually puts a citation forward, it's $250 by state statute. And what they do is say, well, for every bus per month, if there's an infraction, we'll take the cost of a certain amount of those tickets. If there are no infractions, then we take nothing. So it's neutral to the city, doesn't cost us anything, and the details of that would need to be detailed in the contract. And the motion is that the order be adopted, and that we adopt Chapter 40, Section 71, School Bus Violation Detection Monitoring Systems, Installation and Operation.
Thank you, Councilor Graney.
As a member of the Joint Committee, I speak very much in favor of this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. So on the motion to adopt the ordinance in Agenda 19, we don't need to do a
Roll call.
we do need a roll call. We don't have to do the first reading second. So the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt item 19.
Panich,
Yes.
Purcell,
Yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Alheimer,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
McGrath-Smith,
Yes.
Masonette,
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, with that, you have unanimously passed item 19. Thank you. Item 20 is the Committee on Ordinance, to whom was referred an order that the income level be increased to the maximum allowed for seniors seeking tax relief. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Councilor McGrath-Smith.
Thank you. This was an order that we had taken up to see if it could be raised. And in short, we found that it was important to name that this was based on folks' gross income, because some folks were thinking that maybe they were going to be, able to get more of a benefit than they were, but it's out of the gross income, and that we are already at the highest level possible. So we're already at the maximum allowed. And the recommendation was the order has been complied with.
I'll second that.
A motion's been made and seconded that the order's been complied with. Under discussion, Counselor Bacon.
Thank you. I just want to make a brief comment because it was totally accurately put forth. I just want to let the body know that in finance is a companion order that I filed where it's being considered to adopt a different state law that would allow taxpayers to make a voluntary donation and set up a fund to help seniors who are low income or disabled people who are low income in a similar way. So I hope that we'll have it before us pretty soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Anyone else? Counselor Rivera? No?
I'll wait till the finance meeting.
Okay. Sounds good. On the motion that the order has been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you. Ordinance. On to committee reports from Finance. Item 21 is a committee on finance to whom was referred an order that there be a transfer of $6,000 from professional services to R&M other. It was recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine.
Yep. Motion to pass the first reading, or do we talk about, motion to pass the first reading?
Motion was made and
Second.
seconded to pass the first reading. Under discussion, Counselor Devine.
Lynn Horan from the Council on Disabilities was in, and what this encompasses is that in the future, they are hoping to get a fully accessible van from PVTA, and that's what the transfer was for, and also for $1,850 desirable equipment, and in 2027, they will be back for the budget, and they're hoping to get the fully accessible van from the PVTA.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, on the motion to pass the first reading, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading?
Second.
Motion is to pass the second reading. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting in favor of the transfer in item 21.
Panich?
Yes.
Purcell?
Yes.
Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Tallheimer?
Yes.
Bacon?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Devine?
Yes.
Rainey?
Yes.
McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Masonette?
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti?
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Madam Chair, just point of clarification.
Sure.
I don't understand the van part.
The from
Counselor
what-
Devine?
Yeah, from what Lynn Horan has told us from the Council on Disabilities, they're hoping that PVTA will give them a fully accessible van that will fit a wheelchair, specifically one like hers, which is a little larger. That's really what that's about.
And that's what this transfer is for.
No, transfer, let me get my notes again.
I'm confused.
Do you want me to jump in?
Does any, Counselor Tallheimer?
Yeah.
Have we voted on this? This is done.
We did
Yeah.
vote on
Okay.
this. Yeah. Counselor McGrath Smith.
Just wanted to name, thank you, that this is for repairs to the current van that the senior center has that they use often to support folks connected to the Disabilities Commission. And so they were saying, could we move some of our funding to be used for that van?
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the clarification.
Got it. Thank you. All right, so that passed. 21 passed. 22 is the Committee on Finance, to whom is referred an order that the City Council accept the provisions of the Massachusetts Department of Fire Services Firefighter Safety Equipment $23,500 no match grant. It was recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine?
Yep, motion to pass the first reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to pass the first reading. Under discussion,
Yeah.
Counselor
The
Devine.
Fire Chief Katalevitz was in to talk about this, and this is the sixth year that this has been given to Holyoke from the state, and what they'll be doing is purchasing 5 turnout gear for any new firefighters. This is new gear. This is the best it's been in 5 years. And each turnout gear, if you know what turnout gear is, that's what you'll see with their jackets and their pants. Each one of those is $4,700 a piece for the jacket and the pants. And it was, the Holyoke Fire Department has been awarded a grant by the Massachusetts Department of Fire Services for firefighter safety equipment in the amount of $23,500. Also, this is from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Dear Chief Katalevitz, congratulations. I am pleased to inform you that the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security and the Department of Fire Services has awarded the City of Holyoke, Holyoke Fire Department, $23,500 of funding for the Firefighter Safety Equipment Grant Program in state fiscal year 2026. With each new challenge, fire service in Massachusetts demonstrate its ability to adapt, overcome, and continue providing the excellent level of services that the citizens of the Commonwealth have come to expect. Please know how thankful I am for this and how grateful I am to be able to provide your department with this important equipment. And it's signed the Governor Maura Healey and the Lieutenant Governor Kimberly Driscoll.
Thank you. Is there Councilor McGrath-Smith?
Thank you, Madam President. I wanted to name something just for the council to be aware of, that effectively, because they're not allowed to have PFAS, which is those forever chemicals, in the, they have all these fire retardant chemicals that they're putting on these turnout gear to protect them, right? There's multiple layers so that they can walk into flame. And they're not allowed to have PFAS anymore, and so they're phasing that out and getting new equipment. But the new, turnout gear is not going to last as long. It's going to last like 5 years. So what he was saying to us is that it's $23,500, and they're going to be able to get at 20% of the group this year. And that means that they're basically, if they only last 5 years, going to have to do 20% every year. So whether this grant can continue and they can keep using it, or they're going to have to start budgeting for it because it's just a new reality to the cost of the turnout gear. So just something for folks to hold on to if we see it then pop up into the budget. Whether he said it's probably not going to be the budget this year because they have the grant this year, but in future budgets, if they can't find grant funding to use it, we'll probably see it then come into the budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Thalheimer.
I actually want to speak to this as well because I went to a fire commissioners meeting earlier this year, and they said exactly this. The new turnout gear is more comprehensive, top of the line, better suited, and they do a 20% replacement. So every year they replace about 20% of it until they've been able to replace all the turnout gear, and then it's expired and they start again. So this is not, this is an ongoing expense, and being able to get this grant money to cover the thing that literally keeps them safe while they do their job seems crucially important. I just wanted to step in and say, I have also heard this from them. So I think this is great.
Thank you. All right, on the motion to pass the first reading, seeing no other discussion, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Motion to pass the second reading.
Motion to pass the second reading. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you're voting to adopt item 22.
Panich?
Yes.
Purcell?
Yes.
Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Thalheimer?
Yes.
Bacon?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Devine?
Yes.
Rainey?
Yes.
McGrath-Smith?
Yes.
Masonette?
Yes.
Murphy and Belletti?
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Okay, with that, you've accepted the grant in item 22. Item 23 is the Committee on Finance. Do you want to take 23 and 24 as a package, or?
So moved.
Okay.
Suspend rules and take them together as a package.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take items 23 and 24 as a package. On the motion to suspend the rules, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item 23 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred an order that the City Council review and approve the proposed 2026 funding recommendations from the Community Preservation Act Committee. And then 24 is the Committee on Finance, to whom was referred a communication from the CPA Committee with recommendations to the City Council for fiscal year 26. Both of these were recommended that the order be adopted. Counselor Devine.
Yes, Jay Ferrera was in. He is the chair of the CPA committee, and he went through each one of these items. And I wish that former Counselor McGivern was here because they did vote to restore those horses. The ones that he talked about, that Jay talked about, Scotts Tower at Anniversary Hill Park, the Department of Conservation and Sustainability, category was recreation, the amount is $200,000 and 28% of the total, and that's in Ward 6. Then also the City Hall steps, the City of Holyoke City Hall, it's historic category, $100,000, 65% of the total, and that's Ward 1. Horse restoration, 4 of them, Friends of the merry-go-round thing, merry-go-round. That's also under historic category, $31,960 for 95% of the total, and that's also in Ward 1. Window restoration, Holyoke Health Center, historic, $225,000, 100% of the total, and that's also in Ward 1. Then the other one is the Butler's Pantry in Wisteria-Hearst, and that's the City of Holyoke Wisteria-Hearst Museum. That's also under the category of historic, and that is $65,000 amount for 95% of the total, and that's in Ward 4. And then the Dwight Street Garden, requested by Neighbor to Neighbor, and the category was recreation. The amount was $50,000, total of 47%, and that was in Ward 1, and I believe I was just going to call on Councilor Purcell because he knows a lot about that garden. So Jay did a great job, and of course we know that Councilor McGrath Smith also was one of the starters of the CPA, so they're doing a terrific job. So Councilor McGrath Smith may want to add to this, but I know that Councilor would like to do it as well.
Thank you. I do have Councilor Purcell's hand.
So I have a question about it. I might abstain just from the Dwight Street Garden part of it, but can I vote yes on the others?
I think we just are voting on the recommendations as a whole package.
So I have to abstain from the whole show?
No, you only, sorry.
Go ahead, Councilor McGrath Smith.
You only have to abstain in terms of ethics if you think you are going to benefit financially from the decision.
Correct.
I'll vote for the whole show then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I figured. Okay.
So you want to take a vote on
Can
each?
I still speak now?
Yeah, of course. Yep. Go ahead.
So, thank you very much for allowing me to vote on the whole package. I think the entire Ward 4 and the citizens of Holyoke will benefit from the Dwight Street Garden. What we grow in that garden is healthy food, and anybody in the community can go by that garden and grab their tomatoes for their salad and grab their salad and whatever vegetables we have there. And there's no questions, you take what you need and go about your business, and that to me is what community should be about.
Thank you. Councilor McGrath Smith, I saw your hand.
Thank you. Yes, I just wanted to speak to one of the projects, just to give it a bit more context. So the Holyoke Health Center project, which is $225,000, and this is 275 High Street. It's the Child's Building. And I think one thing that I wanted to make sure was named into the record, which the chair had made sure to explain to us, is that it's 100% of the request for the windows, but it's part of a massive renovation of the entire building that Holyoke Center is footing the bill for. So it's not like we're stepping in and we're paying for all of this work. This is a very small part of a larger renovation of this building that was, vacant, underused, really needed to be brought back online, and they're doing that. The other thing that I wanted to name is, as part of our preservation plan, the goal is to be thoughtful with the investment where it can be done so that we're bringing blighted and vacant buildings back online. And there's been a lot of, as you can notice, targeted investment along High Street, right? Particularly Southern Street, but there's also now work coming, if you were to the HRA minutes, down on the, Haberman block, right? There's a lot of folks who are working on coordinating investment in order to bring the High Street corridor back online. And this is just another one of the pieces of that, right? Think about High Street can feel sometimes like a gap-toothed smile. There are these beautiful buildings, and then you have, you know, vacant or blighted buildings, underutilized buildings. So it's part of the strategy, which is coordinated between OPED and CPA and planning for there to see investment. Think about Veterans Park and what that was 20 years ago versus what it is now, when you can coordinate investment and then every pillar on that block is stable, right? And then you move to the next area. So very excited to see this building come forward and to see it brought back to good use.
Thank you. I have Councilor Israel Rivera.
Yes, thank you. To the point, to that particular project, I think for me, the only issue I have is CPA is based on tax collection, right? And I don't believe Holyoke Health Center is under a pilot agreement, or even, unless, is that true or not? Do we know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, so I guess for me, that's the only issue I would probably have, where it's CPA is based off of revenue that's built from people's taxes. Right. And we have an entity here that is not necessarily contributing to that particular base.
That you know of, because I couldn't.
That I know of,
confirm it,
right? Let me clarify. It doesn't matter. I'm me. Anyways, I'm going to be who I am. So ultimately, for me, that is where the issue lies. Then there's a piece of it, too, where they identify in what ward they're in, and saying Ward 1. So I guess the people do benefit in a sense that this building is pretty, but like to say directly, like, I don't know. I think it's kind of like a bogus little play on words here to come and say that the City Hall in Ward 1 is getting improvement, that the Holyoke Health Center is going to get some improvements, that the windows at City Hall get improvements, and all these things are happening in Ward 1, and we're making it seem like Ward 1 residents are receiving a whole bunch of direct services, when technically it's an indirect service that is well needed. I'm not saying that it isn't, but it's a kind of play on words for me, and I don't know. I just had to call it out.
Okay. I have Councilor Anderson Burgos.
Thank you, Madam President. So, I mean, I don't see it that way. It's in the name. It's Community Preservation Act, and it's just preserving parts of the city that have been neglected for many years, hence Ward 1. They might mention Ward 1 because there's specific reasons people want to know which ward that is. You can say Scotts Tower. Not everybody in Holyoke is going to know that that's in Ward 6. And I don't want Councilor Rivera to think I'm being direct. That's how I view it. I view it as this is funds that comes from the taxpayer that is an investment directly to our city that we all live in and cherish. That's all.
Thank you. I have Councilor Devine and then Councilor Greeny.
And from the explanation is with the taxes. The one category is recreation, another category has to be historic, another category has to be open space, public recreation, historic, and what was the last one? Housing. So that's why those are listed there. They just happen to be in those wards. Okay. But I'm happy to go through each one of them. And
this is feeling like a committee meeting, so I really don't want to do that. And this could have all been discussed further in committee. So I had Councilor Greeny, and then I see.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move the question.
I would love nothing more.
Yep, I tried.
Councilor Rivera.
Just a clarification, so when we're voting on all of them together?
Yep.
Yep, that's how we usually do it.
Yep.
That's not how we do it?
You could make a motion.
You can make whatever motion you'd like.
No, I'm not making no motions. I just know that's not how it was usually.
We've done it different ways.
Yes, thank you.
How would you like to do it?
As you would love to, Madam President.
I really don't care. I'm just literally up here to run the meeting, so it's whatever the will of the body is. There was a motion to, that the report be adopted, so that's what I was going on. Is there there was a second? Any further discussion? Councilor Greeny.
Quickly, an individual counselor could abstain from one section of this if he wanted to. Just say, I abstain from this section, right?
Okay.
Or vote no on one section.
Well, then we're going to go through line by line if we're going to do that, because I don't really.
No, we don't have to do that.
All right.
Just on the motion and the motion.
On the motion that the committee report be adopted and the recommendations, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay.
Do we need a roll call vote?
You don't need roll call?
Do I?
I think we do.
Okay.
Okay,
'Cause
I
we're-
trust you. The clerk will call the roll.
Panich,
Yes.
Purcell,
Healthy, yes.
Israel Rivera,
Yes.
Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Tallheimer.
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Anderson Burgos.
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Graney,
Yes.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Bissonette,
Yes.
Murphy and Bloody.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
With that, you have passed items 23 and 24. 25 is the Committee on Finance, to whom is referred an order that the city staff attending the Tyler Tech Conference in April be requested to come to a Finance Committee meeting to report on what they learned at the conference. Recommended that the order be given a leave to withdraw.
Yes.
Counselor Devine?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. The reason we're giving it to leave to withdraw, we did take it up at one point and we denied it. So that's why we're giving it leave to withdraw, just to get it out of the jacket. It's already been denied. No one's going to this conference, and that's why it was given leave to withdraw.
Second.
Great. Any other comments? The motion was made and seconded to give the order a leave to withdraw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. We did 26. 27 is the Committee on Public Service, to whom was referred a communication from Personnel Director Kelly Curran. City of Holyoke social media policy recommended that the order has been complied with. Counselor Anderson Burgos.
Yep, this will be quick. So, our HR Director, Kelly Curran, stated that this was discussed 2 years earlier and that it is now in effect. And so the committee voted to have it complied with 3-0, and that's where we stand.
Okay. Other comments? Other discussion? All right, on the motion that the order has been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 28 is the Committee on Public Service, to whom is referred an order that we revisit a discussion about city councilors having Holyoke email addresses. Issues are coming up with councilors having to delete emails because inboxes are full, potentially losing emails that are subject to records requests. It was recommended that the order has been complied with. Counselor Anderson Burgos.
Yep, thank you. This is also a quick one. So the reason I had filed this order is because I came across a dilemma where I had to start deleting emails, and I found myself deleting emails that were very, very important. So the only option I had was to start paying for my own email storage. And I said, I'm already paying for my cell phone. I already paid for my business cards as a city councilor. I'm like, I think that's enough. And all city councilors should have Holyoke.org city official emails. We constantly, as you all know, we constantly get documents left and right. And that will take up and hog up your email very, very, very quickly. And as you also may or may not know, we should not be deleting emails in case if they ever ask, state or whoever, legally. So anyways, so the HR director, Kelly Curran, stated, that she was in communication with the mayor. She also found out that surrounding communities, all their city councilors have .orgs, right? So they have city official emails, and the mayor will now be budgeting for this in the next fiscal year. And we set this out of the committee, voted complied with 3-0. And if anybody has any questions, now is the time.
Anyone else? Counselor Devine.
Just a quick, not question really. So in the next budget, the mayor will be putting something in so that we will get an email such as, say it's the way they have it now?
Patty Devine at holyoke.org.
Devine@holyoke.org.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Anyone else? All right, on the motion that the order has been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. On to Development Government Relations. 29 is DGR, to whom is referred a special permit application of Rights Block LLC at 106 120 High Street to reconstruct a non-conforming structure to build 2 egress staircases at the rear for the commercial storefront units into the rear alleyway in footprint of existing staircases per 4.7.3. It was recommended that the special permit be granted. Councilor Purcell.
Thank you, Madam President. We indeed did vote for it to be granted. William Wollendorf was the applicant, and they're building 19 mixed and affordable housing units on that site. Nobody else spoke against the permit. We recommended that the permit be granted, and the good Councilor Panich broke out the zoning ordinance book and read that into the record.
Yeah.
And I guess that has never happened before. Councilor Rivera said it's never happened before. And so it's 2 back porches that are going to go into the existing footprint. And the book that she read out of was what the non-conforming part of the ordinance was. So it was pretty special, and all of us said, yes, we recommend that the special permit be granted. If anybody else has anything to add to that, please feel free to.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else have anything to add? Seeing no other discussion, this is a roll call vote. Yes, Madam Clerk? Okay. The clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to grant the special permit in item 29.
Panich?
Yes.
Purcell?
Yes.
Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Tallheimer?
Yes.
Bacon?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Devine?
Yes.
Graney?
Yeah.
McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti?
Yes.
Masonette?
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot. Murphy Ramboletti. Unanimous vote.
All right, with that, you've passed item 29. Item 30 is the Committee on Development Government Relations, in order for the petition renewal of William F. Sullivan and Company for a junk dealer's license at 107 Appleton Street. It was recommended that the license be granted. Councilor Purcell.
So this was not as easy as the first item we just addressed. It had a heavy discussion. The petitioner, Brian Powell, who has been in that position that he's in representing the business since 2024. It's a 50-plus year business in Holyoke, and we had a lot of issues raised during the meeting. One of them was violations of noise ordinances. We had multiple 21 email complaints from 2022 to 2024, and we couldn't put all that on the petitioner because he wasn't in the position until 2024. But in his conversation to us, he was trying to minimize our efforts to let him know about the problems. And the committee itself wasn't saying, you're not off the hook yet, sir. We got some more stuff to do. And we had the city council president chime in, and of all the multiple phone calls that she gets about the noise. And we had another city councilor, and there was multiple, and she also made a deal with the person that she'll have his direct phone number to call him anytime she wants to make sure that compliance is met. We had another city councilor that lived in the ward, and he brought up the issue of not only the noise, but the smell, the odors, and it's real close to a school. So we don't know what the odors are, and it's a high asthma rate in that. And as an asthma sufferer myself, I know how important it is that we make sure the air is clean. It's one of the reasons I fought hard to make sure the Mount Tom coal plant closed. So, and the burning, we don't know, when it's burning, we don't know what the stuff is going up in the air. Those were some of the issues that got brought up. And as far as the violations of the noise ordinance, there was, he agreed that he'll take our personal number, he'll give his personal number so that we can call him, and the police actually showed up to one of the violations, and the Board of Health actually showed up to one of the violations, and he agreed that going forward that we will comply with the special permit to the T. And I said, with all the information you just heard tonight of all the violations and all the committee members bringing up issues, there's no way you can say now that you didn't know. That's and so we agreed to go forward with this. Anybody else from the
Thank you.
the issue?
I have Counselor Anderson Burgos' hand, and then Counselor Bacon.
I'll be quick. This is the same individual, right? That one of the places where he's burning, it's on Main Street. Yeah, so I normally go with the flow and grant the licenses, but I'm not going to, because this has been ongoing since I got started. And the promises that are made, we're not going to be doing this at 5 or 6 in the morning, waking up the constituents who live in that area. So I'm going to say no.
Thank you. Counselor Bacon?
Thank you, Madam President. I just wondered if conditions were added to the special permit to address the noted problems.
From the meeting, I didn't see any conditions added.
So I'm wondering if the body would want to consider putting a condition on the special permit that says if the petitioner continues to violate the noise and burning ordinances as discussed in the meeting, that the permit would be denied in the next round, so that they'd have fair warning now that it's all on the record. That's just a suggestion.
Thank you.
Madam President?
I have a few hands up right now at the moment, so I'm going to call people in order. I also just want to let everyone know that I did get the phone number of the business owner promptly afterwards, so just an FYI. And I appreciate that. So I had Counselor Tallheimer, then I saw Counselor Purcell, and I saw Panich. Did I see Counselor Panich? Is that
You did.
your hand was still up? Okay. Counselor Sullivan? Okay, so I got Tallheimer, Purcell, Panich, Sullivan, McGrath-Smith. No?
Madam
Okay.
President, I'll go last.
Okay, okay, and Counselor Greeny. Got it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, in brief, we did, I was at this meeting, we did briefly bring this up, talking about the possibility of attaching conditions to this special permit, which is a thing that City Council can do and has done historically. But the discussion did not advance in terms of what conditions and how to attach them. But similar things were suggested at this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Counselor Sullivan.
Pretty much echoing what Councilor Thalheimer just said. It's back up for renewal. He was put on notice by the chair. We're going to be watching this very closely over the next year, and the terms and conditions are the city ordinances. That's what we're going to be watching. So.
Thank you. Counselor Panich?
Yeah, basically, I would agree with Councilor Bacon 100% on this, but it is a one-year permit, and it will have to come back for renewal in any case. And I believe we made it clear during the committee meeting that violations during the coming year would result in a denial next year.
Thank you. And Counselor Rivera, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, briefly, just again, I know a lot of the issues that were raised that day, and the reason why it was filed was around particularly the fires and the sounds. One of the things I raised that day, and I probably will continue to harp on, is the asthma piece. There is an odor and there is a smell and smoke that comes from the space. Again, I don't want to be the person that's like coming after an institution that has been a staple in the community and in Holyoke for so many years. But at the same time, I think it's fair for us to understand whether what the operation is doing has some sort of negative health effect for people that live nearby. It's good to know rather than to not know. So for me, on a separate note, I'll probably follow a different order, but just kind of wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Greeny?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, there's too many health issues here. I'm a negative on this vote.
Okay. Counselor Purcell?
Everything everybody else just said, I was going to say in addition to that. But thank you, everybody else, for saying what you said.
Great. Great comments, concerns, all good stuff. On the motion, that the license be granted, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to grant item 30.
Panich?
Yes.
Purcell?
Yes.
Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Tallheimer?
Yes.
Bacon?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
No.
Devine?
Yes.
Greeny?
No.
McGrath Smith,
Yes.
Masonette,
Yes.
Murphy and Belletti.
Yes.
11 yeas, 2 nays.
Okay, with that, you have passed item 30. Item 31 is Development and Government Relations Committee, an order from, it's a communication from Schermerhorn's Restaurant regarding reconstruction located at 224 Westfield Road. Recommended that the order has been complied with. Counselor Purcell.
So the applicant, Frank Damaris, came in, and he wasn't as friendly to us as I was expecting him to be. He put a lot of blame on our city solicitor and our planning board, and we eventually worked our way through the difficult conversation, and our city solicitor actually had a remedy for him because of the sign being done, that he can just go to the planning board and with a simple talking to the planning board, get this done in a matter of hours instead of weeks, and it wasn't going to cost him $20,000 like he said in his remarks. So the simple solution was just go to the planning board, and the city solicitor even recommended that the city pay for the public notices so that he wouldn't incur that because of all the runaround that he suggested he was getting from the city council and the planning board. That's all. And we recommended that it was complied with.
Thank you. Is that a hand up? No, sorry. Counselor Graney?
Yeah, just quickly, this restaurant, this individual has spent a ton of dough. Big improvements, business in the city. I mean, this is going to be a benefit to the city and to the neighborhood, so let's go ahead with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Rivera?
Yes, I guess the organization that we just voted on also has spent a lot of money in this city too, just in case to clarify. A lot of people have spent a lot of money in this city. But yes, the person that came in, I don't want to name or nothing like that, but they came in and I feel like they had a valid argument to feel upset. I don't think maybe I would have handled it that way. But at the end of the day, I think that the way our chair handled it and the way we tried to move forward as a council as best as possible was the best way that we possibly could, considering that we don't actually run departments. We just kind of write policy. Just kind of wanted to point that out because we did take a lot of heat as a council, and the accusation of us not actually doing anything is kind of strong, but that's also due to the lack of understanding of how municipal government works too as well. Thank you.
Counselor Panich?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to add to what Councilor Rivera has said. With all sympathy to the applicant, he was asking us to do something that we have no mechanism whatsoever for doing, and that had been pointed out to him by our city solicitor. And, we feel bad, but we have to do what we have to do.
All right. On the motion that this order has been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Item 32 is Development Government Relations Committee, an order that the City Council approve the resolution for the Certified Housing Development Incentive Program project, including a local tax increment exemption agreement with 103 Lyman LLC for downtown market rate housing at 103-105 Lyman Street. Recommended that the order be adopted with the condition that all taxes and vacant building fees have been paid. Counselor Purcell.
So we had Mr. Blah and Mr. Katz. I'm probably not saying Mr. Blah's name, and I apologize to him a lot about saying his last name, and he said it was no problem. We recommended that the order be adopted with the conditions that you just stated, and we had a few counselors raise some issues, but just to explain the property, it's 12 units of market rate housing, and it's in, I hate to say it, but it's in Ward 1, and one of the issues that got raised up was the average medium income in that neighborhood, and what they're doing to reach out to that particular community to allow public input from the residents in that ward, and that hasn't been done yet. And we also had somebody explain the TIE, and we tried to say that we came to the conclusion that TIE has to happen before the actual site plan is adopted. So the TIE is an incentive for him to fund the plans, and then once it's funded, then we can go back onto the planning board and the site plan and everything else that happened. One of the issues that got brought up was the parking, and he talked about other properties that are adjacent to it that they purchased, and they're talking about putting parking there, even though they didn't really need to, because that all comes with the site plan again. And so that's why we recommended that but I will yield to anybody else on the committee that wants to chime in on that.
I see Councilor Rivera and then Councilor Sullivan.
Yeah, so just speaking to what the chair was referencing with regards to the community and the average median income, it was just pretty much market rate. Although market rate is market rate might not be affordable for everyone in the community, and understanding that the community that they're building in and just understanding the community outreach and how they went about doing this, it was the reason why I voted no the last go around. It was the first I kind of had got wind of the project. I fully understand that they may have been working behind the scenes with other department heads, but there is a piece of me where, as a city councilor, I can't just continue to make decisions at the meeting. I have to be informed on what's going on and what the idea is and what we're trying to do before I can actually go ahead and say yes. So after speaking with Alex and Mr. Katz, right?
Yes.
And I don't remember the other guy's name.
Blah.
Mr. Blah. And having them present the second time and having the conversations with them, it made me feel comfortable to just say, yes, let's move forward, because I have a fuller understanding. I just wish that before some of these projects come forward to us, and the understanding of getting this particular tax, not write-off, but incentive. I don't know how to fully explain it at the moment, but for them to get the larger tax or write-off or incentive, they had to get approved through this one from the council first, so that they can get the state one, which helps them cover some of the cost to keep the rents affordable. All of it makes sense. I'm with it. It's just that when you live in a certain community and you see that particular community changing day to day, I just want people to be prevalent and pay attention to the communities as they start reshaping and reforming them. It's not fair to the people that have grown up and own property in those communities for things and policies to all of a sudden change because there are new people moving in. And I fully feel like we should be an inclusive community, but at the same time, that inclusivity means to include the people that already live in the community. That's all I just wanted to point out on that piece. But I'll vote yes on the project. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Sullivan?
Yes, I'll also be voting yes on this, but the council, you'll be seeing this again and again. They've already got a project going for 80 some odd units. That's wonderful. Not one has come online yet, not one. The argument they put forward, it'll be in front of planning and site review and everything else. I just don't see this one going forward at all. And even what was presented to us with the parking, they have an adjacent property. That adjacent property was approved in planning because it had parking for that property. You can't take something from one property now and say it can be used in another. But we'll see it again.
Thank you. Councilor Panich?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that the way this kind of financing works is if the project is never built, if we never see this, it's not going to cost us anything.
Right.
Because the tax incentives only kick in when this comes online and the improvements to the property become taxable. So basically, we can offer this risk-free.
Thank you. Councilor Sullivan?
I would just say it's not risk-free. This property's been vacant for I don't know how many years. It's been harboring all types of problems and blight in the neighborhood, and I hope it happens a lot faster, but I don't hold out much hope for it.
Thank you. All right. On the motion that the order be adopted with the condition that all taxes and vacant building fees have been paid, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to adopt item 32.
Panich?
Yes.
Purcell?
Yes.
Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Dahlheimer?
Yes.
Bacon?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Devine? Graney?
Yes.
McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Masonette?
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti?
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
Madam Chair,
Yes, with that, you have passed it. Yes, Counselor?
point of order. Would I get permission to explain my vote on 31 and 32? Because I think it's been misrepresented here.
So we're not on 31. That was just that it was complied with.
Right.
I would need a motion, I don't know, a motion to,
Revisit?
Privilege,
It's
I
a
guess.
personal privilege.
I guess so. Can we keep it brief?
Yes, very brief.
Go ahead, Counselor.
On the 31, I voted negative because it was a health issue.
Okay.
And on 30, it was a health issue. That's why I voted negative. It had nothing to do with money.
Right.
On 31, I did mention that the individual spent a lot of money, but there were no health issues, and there was no dissension from the neighborhood on this project. Thank you.
Okay. So, item 33 is the Committee on Development Government Relations, to whom was referred an order that the city accept a parcel of land identified as a parcel located in the city on a plan entitled the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Plan of Land in the City of Holyoke, Hamden County. I'm gonna, in addition, that the city council adopt a resolution to submit the state legislature to adopt such a law statewide. It's recommended that the order and the resolution be adopted. Counselor Purcell.
Thank you. I read that resolution twice into
Yes,
the
you
record.
did. Yes, you
So,
did.
Just for the record, I'm glad. Thank you for not reading it again and not making me read it again.
Yes.
Because that's how I lost my voice that night.
It's been read into the record for sure.
So Yoni Glonauer from the Conservation Office came in, and he spoke about this, and it's regarding the Chimera Pool on University Hill, at University Hill Park. And the state, it's a 5.6 acre park, and the state has taken it, the state has it, but it's deeded to the city. So the city is going to be able to take control of it under Article 97 process to get it back from the state. And it's going to be controlled by the Parks and Rec Department, and a motion was to adopt the resolution and say it was complied with. Anybody else want to chime in?
Counselor Anderson Burgos.
I'll
your hand?
just be quick because you brought me back to my childhood. Shamora Pool is not a thing anymore, so are we still calling it? I mean, the area, I get Anniversary Hill, but Shamora Pool doesn't exist.
Through you,
I just want to clarify.
Counselor Purcell.
through you, I was just pointing out the location, and Chimera Pool in 1990 was covered in, and there's no danger to the community about a big, or it could have probably been used for a skateboard park if people had the will to do that, but.
That was mentioned at the meeting. Did I see another hand up on this side? Counselor Devine?
I was just going to mention to Counselor Anderson Burgos that I was a lifeguard at Chamorro Pool.
You saved me.
And I probably kicked you out rather than saved you.
I was a very good kid.
Okay. So,
That'd be on brand. I
but
think,
back in the
Patty.
day, back in the day, it was a great place to go. It really was. Thank you.
Great. Love it. All right. Is there any other comment? Okay. On the motion that the order and resolution be adopted, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting for item 33.
Panich. Purcell.
Yes.
Israel Rivera.
Yes.
Jenny Rivera.
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Yep.
Palmer, Bacon.
Yes.
Anderson Burgos.
Yes.
Devine.
Yes.
Graney.
Yes.
McGrath Smith.
Yes.
Masonette.
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti.
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
All right, you passed 33, on to 34. The Committee on Development Government Relations, to whom was referred an order that the City Council approve the amendment to the Special Tax Assessment Agreement with Valley Mall LLC for the development that is occurring at their 4 North Bridge Street property. The Special Tax Assessment Agreement was originally approved by the City Council on September 5th, 2023. It was recommended that the order be adopted. Councilor Purcell.
Thank you. So this is for the extension of a tax agreement. The committee voted in favor of it. We had Eric Nakajima here from the OPED office explaining the situation. The state wanted to stop it because the job creation project had not been met according to the state. But since then, the business has expanded and Andrea from the owner of the business said that the job creation has happened. It has happened since the state got it. As we all know, government doesn't move as fast as we would like it to, and the state doesn't know about it yet. And actually, the project itself has expanded, and they're talking about having more jobs there. So the trajectory is to create more jobs and to expand. And that's why we said yes.
Thank you, Counselor. Is there any other discussion? Counselor Panich?
Just for what it's worth, I am a customer of Ground Up Grain, Valley Malt, and I have seen the expansion in progress. This is not vaporware. This is genuinely happening.
Yep. Anyone else? All right, on the motion to adopt the order, the clerk will call the roll. If you vote yes, you are voting to approve the amendment to the special tax assessment agreement in item 34.
Panich?
Yes.
Purcell?
Yes.
Israel Rivera?
Yes.
Jenny Rivera?
Yes.
Sullivan?
Yes.
Tallheimer?
Yes.
Aiken?
Yes.
Anderson Burgos?
Yes.
Devine?
Yes.
Rainey?
Yes.
McGrath Smith?
Yes.
Masonette?
Yes.
Murphy Ramboletti?
Yes.
Unanimous vote.
With that, you've passed 34. I would entertain a motion. Do you guys want to take 35 and 36
So be it.
together?
So moved.
All right. Everyone was very excited to do that. 35 is, they're both DGR. 35 is that the City Council invite the Kestrel Land Trust Conservation Department representative from the Planning Board for a comprehensive walkthrough of the steps, requirements, and processes necessary to designate Elmwood Forest as conservation land. It was recommended that and then 36, was the Development Government Relations Committee in order that HEDIC or its representatives provide the council an update on the status of 2 land parcels on Whiting Farms Road, currently under contract to Cesar Ruiz and or the USA International Sports Complex Group. Both of these orders were recommended that they have been complied with. Councilor Purcell?
Thank you. On the first order, number 35, some of the participants didn't show up because of sorry. Oh, you raised your hand. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I get distracted that way.
I understand up here, trust me.
So, some of the applicants couldn't appear before the committee just because of the ongoing court case filed by a citizen group from the Save the Elmwood Forest and the suits against the city. So the Conservation Office and the Planning Board did not show up. We did, however, get a letter from the Kestrel Land Trust. And do you want, the letter was read into the meeting there. Do we read it again, or?
You read it into the record if you have a brief summary, if you want.
They said that the city can do it by themselves. Take the bull by the horns and make it conservation land. But they said that they probably wouldn't be involved in it because it's not a big enough property for them to weigh in on. But they actually said, we like the idea of the city doing it, but we'll probably not be able to go further with it because of the size of the property. That's basically what the letter said. So we actually had, as you know, at the beginning of our meeting today, the chairman of the HEDIC committee came in and he gave his TED talk about how HEDIC started and how all the years that he's been on it since 1990. 91, I'm sorry. I missed a year.
Only one?
And so his presentation was very good, and he gave us the whole, if you missed the meeting, it's hard to summarize because his talk was so long, but to make it easier to understand is he doesn't think that the property itself is able to have a sports complex built on it. And HEDIC renewed the license for another year from 2027, and that the property owner, Cesar Ruiz, actually paid the $50,000 from 25 to 26 that he missed out on by not getting his bid in time for the property. And so it was a really healthy discussion, and a lot of people chimed in. I loved Joe's presentation. It took the words right out of my mouth, and I sat through it and listened to it, and the guy is an icon to the city. That's all I have to say about it.
Thank you. Councilor Thalheimer?
I just wanted to speak to this very briefly. Sorry for derailing you like a squirrel over here. But I did want to be very precise in our language. It wasn't so much that the Planning Board and Conservation Sustainability didn't show up. They were advised not to participate. It was not for... They didn't blow it off. They were not allowed to comment per the ongoing litigation, which is why that first one has been complied with to the extent possible, because we were not able to hear from the planning board. We were not able to hear from conservation because of the ongoing lawsuit brought against the city by a group of individuals related to the Elmwood Forest. I just wanted to be very precise about that out of respect for their good work.
Thank you. I have Councilor Panich and then Councilor Sullivan.
Yeah, and in that same spirit of being very precise about things, one of the striking things to me about Mr. McGivern's presentation to us was that he was very clear on the limitations of HEDIC's authority. And one of the things he said that I think is going to be important going forward is that HEDIC is bound to attempt to find an industrial commercial use for that property. And therefore, even if the current agreement expires without being exercised, some other steps would likely have to be taken before there were any possibility of a conservation organization bidding on it, because that's not what they would do with the property. So I think it's important for everybody who is involved in trying to save the forest to understand that point.
Thank you. Councilor Sullivan?
Yeah, I'll just try to add a little more clarity to it. Kestrel, it wasn't just the size of it, but it didn't abut any other properties, other ones that we've done, such as Glutech. It abuts the New England Trail, other ones, Mount Tom Reservation, for example, and stuff like this. This is just an isolated pocket. So that's one of the main reasons Kestrel wasn't interested. As far as HEDIC goes, what we're really talking about, and I've said this several times now, and I hope it's becoming clear to everybody, there's two areas involved here. One piece by HEDIC, the other is the Bagley Family Trust, all right? It's in land court. It's been in land court for years. It's going to be there for years. And nothing says that when it does come out of land court that the city's going to own it. It might not be awarded to the city, all right? So all of this is so premature, it just blows my mind. I'll let it go. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Councilor Thalheimer?
The land court parcel is not part of the two that we're discussing with HEDIC. So
right, but it's
I
all
think
part.
Bringing it up is going to confuse people. Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay. Councilor Sullivan?
I'm fine.
Okay. All right. On the motion that this order has been complied with, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Okay. All right. Now, thank you, everyone. We're going to head into motions, orders, and resolutions. I would entertain a motion that we take 37 and 39 through 45
Second.
as a package.
So moved.
So moved, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They go to finance.
And yep, all right. So the motion was made and seconded to send to finance. I'll just briefly read them into the record. 37 is a transfer request of $40,000 from pay patrol officers to supplies and ammunition. 39 is a transfer request of $1,977.83. That is from education and training to out-of-state travel. 40 is a transfer request for $3,150 from clothing reimbursement and pay patrol officers to pay clothing allowance. 41 is a transfer request for $210,000 from pay patrol officers to personnel equipment, energy, gas, oil, electric, and supplies other. 42 is a transfer request of $1,652.20 from clothing reimbursement to pay time owed buyback. 43 is a transfer request of $80,000 from pay police sergeant to R&M vehicles and supplies motor vehicles. 44 is a transfer request of $100,000 from pay E911 dispatchers, pay E911 dispatchers part-time, to data maintenance services. And 45 is a transfer request for $150,000 from pay patrol officers to pay overtime. The motion was to send to finance. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. 46 was filed by myself, ordered that the city council issue a proclamation and invite 2 of our city's suburban youth basketball teams in to recognize them for their outstanding achievements this season.
Motion to receive and adopt.
Thank you. Motion is to receive and adopt. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? 47 is filed by Councilor Panich, ordered that the city council designate members of the city's volunteer boards and commissions as special employees for the purposes of state ethics law.
Receive and send to public service, please.
Okay. Receive and send to public service. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. 48 was filed by Councilors Thalheimer and Panich, ordered that the city council review section 38-71 of the Code of Ordinances and amend as necessary to remove outdated exemptions. Receive and send to ordinance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? 49 is filed by Councilor Bacon, ordered that our legal department send a compliance letter to Marion Construction Company regarding no engine brakes on Southampton Road. Residents report regular use of engine brakes as drivers from this company are heading toward County Road.
Receive and adopt and send to the legal department, please.
Receive, adopt, and send to legal. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, 50 is filed by Councilor Bacon, order that the city council send a letter of support to Speaker Mariano and Senate President Spilka for our state auditor to audit the Massachusetts legislature as voted by over 70% of voters. Sample letter from Chesterfield for reference.
Refer to public service, please.
Refer to public service.
I think it's better to go to DGR.
I was thinking DGR.
All right, DGR.
Okay. Just in the past, I think that's where we've tried to send those things.
Okay.
And a copy of that Chesterfield letter to that committee as well.
Yes, that'll go together as a package. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. 51 was filed by Councilor Bacon, order that all applicants for the position of auditor be sent to City Council as the appointing authority. Any offers of employment and salary prior to May 5th, 2026 that have been made to any auditor applicant during the recruitment process be provided to the City Council. 3 verified references be obtained and a query request be submitted that indicates no legal issues prior to the appointment of the auditor. Councilor Bacon?
Thank you, Madam President. So 2 of the aspects of my order have already been complied with, and I just want to let the council know why I put the second request in my order. And I wasn't looking for this. I was just on social media, and it popped up that Ludlow was already seeking to fill the position that our applicant holds, which is what prompted the question in my mind. I've just not typically seen that happen. And so I was looking to see why, because it was very unusual. I mean,
So did anyone from HR talk to you specifically about, the 2 things aren't related, there wasn't, and I just, out of respect, yeah.
I've been playing phone tag, going back and forth with Kelly.
Okay.
So I don't think there's been an intent. It's just meetings and this and that.
Yeah.
But I was looking for, it was just strange.
Yes.
It was there. But if you're saying they weren't associated, then I'm willing to call my order complied with.
Oh, okay.
If
Yeah,
you
they're
know
not,
that.
they're not related, and I think Kelly from HR we'll make sure you guys get connected, because
Okay.
I think she could provide anyone with an explanation.
Okay.
If
it-
you're-
It just took me back when I.
Totally,
saw it.
totally
And it's like,
understand. Yep.
How does that happen?
No,
Okay.
I understand, but
Okay.
it wasn't,
Okay.
yeah, they weren't related.
All right, well, I appreciate that, and I'll accept that, and then I would say that this is complied with.
Okay. Motion was made and seconded that item 51 was complied with. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion to adjourn. It's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.